handset manufacturer, Moto and Nokia, I'm just pulling my hairs out because I got this local innovation going on by branded companies. I got the Shan Zhai going on here, and then I'm still trying to brand. We're Nokia. We're the best. It's difficult for them, quite honestly. Well, part of this is because a number of years ago, the handset vendors and the chip guys had a little cooperation in that they basically MediaTek's chips combine a lot of different functions, and basically handset vendors are able to streamline the production. And as I said, they can go from 9 months back down to 3 months for the development of a handset. But really, originally, the chip vendors and the handset vendors were closely connected in that the handset vendor said, I want this function, you will make this volume, and that's all that you will do. Unfortunately for them, MediaTek came along and said, well, you want whatever you want, we'll do. And we'll do it in a very short period of time. And we'll customize the chip. We'll customize the features of the handset. So you want a Razor? No problem. You want FM radio? No problem. We can do it. We can do it. Computer turnkey operating model. This is what MediaTek has. It's a turnkey model, as you can see here. They're also going, as I said, into these emerging markets. So Africa, Middle East, Indonesia, all of these emerging markets now have these Shan Zhai Ji handsets. If you don't believe this, go and ask. They're all over. They're all over the emerging markets. And of course, MediaTek is promoting that in a place like India, as I told you, even Singapore. Now, this is a key point. Again, when I make this presentation, I am on the neutral side. My objective here is just to present. And what I'm trying to say here is that you can actually see that China's handset industry started here. It was mostly the Western brands, no Chinese brands. And the Chinese saying, hey, what's that all about? We know how to innovate. We know how to produce handsets. The Taiwanese came in, and they realized they had to have licenses for the Western and the Chinese companies. They had the licenses. Then here, basically, government said, oh, free for all. You don't need a license. You can produce. The Chinese government was trying to stir innovation from the domestic side. They know the foreigners have technology, but not the Chinese companies. So this is a way to stir innovation from the Chinese side. And so the possibility is by 2008, you could be, if you played your cards right, sold your products well, had good quality, and started to pay for royalties, you, as a former Shan Zhai Ji company, could become legal, legit, pay for licenses, pay for royalties. And so by 2009, you could actually partner with China Mobile or China Telecom, because I can guarantee you they do not like Shan Zhai Ji. And the reason is because when you look at a Shan Zhai Ji, when you take out the battery, the back of the battery, the IMEI is not real. And if you have no IMEI, you have no way to know what the features and functions of this handset are. And I want to make a pitch here, which is that Shan Zhai Ji can also be very, very dangerous, actually. Because, number one, the batteries tend to blow up, number one. Number two, the radiation emitting from what we call the SAR, not SARS, but SAR, specific absorption rate of the handset, could exceed the registered limits by the Chinese, by the FCC, and by various organizations. If that happens, and if you are using a handset that exceeds that, means you're getting more radiation into your ear and into your brain than you would want. This is another controversy I don't wish to get into right now. Anyway, the key point here is you can become the rising star. Now, this talks a little bit about the blue ocean strategy. Does anybody know what blue ocean strategy is? What is blue ocean strategy? Anybody know? Okay. Basically, blue ocean strategy is a way to make your competition irrelevant. No! Woo! You're gone. No more you. This is what MediaTek is doing to the chip vendors around the world, and they are concerned. And MediaTek has been successful. Some would say Apple iPhone is a similar type of disruptive innovation. Some would say no, they just had a better vision of how to sell a cell phone and make it more user-friendly with its user experience. That's what others would say. No, it's not real innovation. I think it's innovation. Anyway, if you look here, basically, the mobile phones have become an everyday consumable item, and I've got kind of a SWOT here to show you how this is coming about. I'll make these slides available so you can see it later on. Here's my conclusion now, and then we'll take questions. The globalization of technology has caused the global supply chain to shift. So what we have is a subtle redistribution of wealth and technology from the West to the East. It's been going on for 10, 15 years. It's become very, very obvious when a guy sitting in Shenzhen can produce a cell phone that can genuinely compete with the Nokia handset. You can see that you find this innovation going on. So second thing is it's continuing to migrate west. So China, you're not going to have this monopoly forever. It'll go to the Middle East. It'll go to Africa. If you think you will maintain this monopoly just because you are China or you are Chinese people, sorry, you won't. It'll go and continue to go to the next place where there's a thirst for innovation. And it isn't only China. Okay? Let's be very obvious, very, very straightforward with that. The local Chinese and Shan Zhai Ji handset market vendors, but in any way, actually, it may be Chinese companies sending the technology to India and to Africa. Okay, so let's be very straightforward. It could be Chinese companies shipping technology. Okay, that's a definite possibility, along with the Western companies. The local Chinese and Shan Zhai handset vendors are very important growing market trends. This blue ocean strategy, it's a disruptive innovation that's going on. And we are witnessing the emergence of a new hacker entrepreneur class. It's kind of like if you've seen that movie where Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, when they were young kids, and it showed the story of them in the Silicon Valley. Did you ever see that geeky movie? This is no different. In many ways, this is no different. This is no different. So that's the end of my presentation, and Scully and I will take questions now. Thank you. I hope it was interesting.
Anyone have any questions? What's stopping Nokia or Motorola, I guess I should ask them, from going to MediaTek and say, hey, build us a cell phone that has a shaver and a boombox, and I mean, what's stopping them?
Who says they're stopping? Who says they're being stopped? Who says they're not talking to them now? I didn't say either statement, but I'm saying that Tier 1 vendors better figure out some kind of strategy. I'm not saying that they are talking to them. I am not saying that they're not talking to them. I'm saying I do not know. But if it were me and I was the CEO here in China, first of all, I'd have a better salary. Second of all, I would realize that if you can't beat them, then you better join them, because it is better to be alive than dead. Right? So I say that they need to figure something out. Maybe don't count out Nokia, Motorola, and Samsung, at least the top three guys, because come on up here, Scully. These companies are global powerhouses. They encounter a problem and they figure out a way to solve it. That's all I want to say. I'm not a spokesman for Nokia, Motorola, or Samsung. I think they can speak for themselves, but this is my opinion.
How do the local or central government officials feel about the sense of the economy? And what kind of actions they are doing, or are they doing anything for it?
Well, I'm not a Chinese official.